Let's be honest, there's no guidebook when it comes to relationships. So we end up having to stumble through life trying to figure things out for ourselves. What if there was a podcast that found the answers for you, that provided insight to build a successful relationship and ultimately find the companionship you've always hoped for? Welcome to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we answer the questions most people are afraid to ask when it comes to lessons in life and love. It's time to master this thing called life together with your hosts, John and Ashley.
And welcome back to the Girls Ask Guys show, where we are your guide for dating, love, life, relationships, and shit. We're responsible for the universe, okay?
There it is. That's it.
We're just going to take it all. Why not? Okay, so we've got a really good little 10-minute Tuesday here for you. But before I start in on that, I just have a quick little shout out. It's probably going to be a little bit of a surprise, too. To the lovely little Capricorn that stopped by my podium the other night. Really enjoyed talking to you about psychology, love, life, relationships, and, well, everything else.
The universe, because we own it.
We're just going to lay claim to that. How this story goes is I was just standing at one of my checkpoint podiums, and this very lovely lady came up and did my little ID card check thing. And the very first thing I did when she handed it to me was, yeah, this is a fake. And then I proceeded to tell her that I needed a high school photo in order to confirm the photo on the ID card. Well, as it turns out, she's also a doctor in psychology. And when when the conversation eventually came around to, we do a podcast, asked about what it was, and I started describing everything that we do. And then one of the very first questions, which is not uncommon, is, do you have a doctorate in psychology? No, we do not.
I lied to everyone. We pretend to, and then hope you guys think, no, obviously we don't. And no, we make it abundantly clear that we do not have anything.
No, and we do refer people out. If it comes to the point where it goes beyond our expertise or anything that we can possibly do, we do not have the nice little letters that cost a couple $100,000 after our names.
We do not.
So we started talking, and I started explaining what we do and how we do it, and very impressed. She was very impressed with what we do. So I just want to give a quick little shout out and thank you for listening, and thank you for subscribing if you've done that. So if you ever want to talk about psychology again, well, you know where I'm at.
Meet him at the podium.
Yeah, meet me at the podium. Not the altar, podium.
Yeah, that is a very uncomfortable. I thought about it when I said it, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Hey, I already have a blazer on, so.
Halfway there. All you need is an Elvis impersonator.
We have one of those.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, we have an Elvis impersonator comes in every other weekend.
What does he do during the week? Watch Elvis be like a doctor.
He remains in character like 24/7. So what do you do?
Awesome.
I'm a singer. Well, no, I mean, where do you live? Graceland.
That's fucking awesome. So much respect. We should do that too. Like, we should walk up to people who are in a relationship and just play doctor. Well, that's kind of what we do. When I think about it.
One of my dates kind of freaked her out a little bit. Went to the mall. And she's like, what are we going to the mall for? And I said, just trust me, we're going to have fun. And if she didn't have fun, well, that was it. There wasn't going to be a third. But we walked in. We walked in, and we went to one of the upper scale stores and go up to the second level. And here's all this China dishware. You're not buying a plate for less than, what, $200?
Jesus.
So we're walking through, and I was just like, if you could, what would you get? So she's going through and choosing a couple things. And sure enough, here comes a sales associate.
Of course.
Comes up, can I help you guys with anything? And I just turned around, spur of the moment. I look at her and, we just came off this relationship dating game. It's a brand new one, hasn't aired yet. But we got married about 15 minutes ago, and we have $100,000 that we have to spend.
You're a dick. Because that salesperson was so excited. They were like, ka-ching, ka-fucking-ching. and then you're like, nah, just kidding.
No, actually, I ran with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But
did you buy anything?
No, actually, we didn't buy anything because I explained to him we haven't gotten the check. We have to do a third recording before we
You're
actually
such a
get the
dick,
money.
dude.
But
It's awesome.
the girl that I was with, she's sitting there and her mouth kind of drops. Her eyes get really big. Like, what the fuck did he just say?
That's hilarious.
But she kept with it. She kept the story and she ran with it, which is what I was looking for. Can you be spontaneously fun and playful in the moment?
Right.
She went off in all kinds of different directions because sitting right behind me was like the bedding area. And she goes, do you guys have any beds like the bouncy ones? I was like, holy shit, okay, we're going
the
there.
kids are like these.
It was like totally awesome the way that she just stuck with it and then ran with it. So,
Oh, yeah, that's always great. I mean, I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
I guess that's really the biggest point of our show is like speaking your partner's love language and them speaking yours. And I think that's a really good example because you like spontaneity, you like fun. And if you were with that woman and she was like, I'm calling the cops, this man is crazy, clearly you guys aren't compatible at all. Her showing that she's willing to have fun, that's it.
it's one of those things that I look for is, are you able to have adventure? Are you able to have fun, a little bit of spontaneity, be playful, a little bit childlike when it's appropriate. But if you don't know the love language, your true love language, and how the other person, how they speak and how you speak and the communication that bridges that gap, if it's not there, then it's not going to work.
Right.
That's why I said if she wasn't going to have fun and she was going to like go into her shell on the second date, then there's really no point to having a third.
Exactly. And it's cool that you weed that out really early. I think a lot of us on the first couple dates hold back who we are, and not always completely, but just a little bit because we want the person to like us. And thankfully, we're able to grow out of that and be ourselves 100%. So we know that, okay, this might last 3 dates, but it's not going to last forever.
There's a point where I'm just simply just talking to somebody and I'm kind of figuring out, okay, do they have this? Are they the person that I'm really observing, or is there more to them?
Right.
99% of the time, there's more to them. It's just you're in an environment where they can't show it. So you have those little conversations and do your whole selection observation process there.
Mm-hmm.
Then able to go out on a first date, get to know them. Second date, get to know them a little bit more, throw in some fun or some spontaneity, see how that works. And then from there, you can move forward. That's pretty much how I do it.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think one of the things that is super important to me is creativity. So I always like to have a creative, weird conversation, not sexual, just weird talking about weird things like rabbit holes that I fall down. And if you are clearly bored of that, or you clearly don't care, or you aren't someone who does that, then there's no point in us continuing this anyway romantically.
It's kind of like how I was explaining to the woman last night. I just told her straight up, yes, I am very direct. If I like somebody and they meet my 4 qualifications, then I'm just going to straight up tell them, I like you.
Yeah.
Can we do this? So either it's a yes or no, but I'm not going to beat around the bush. So what our Thursday's show is going to be about, since we got way off topic real early in this, is we're talking about your true love language. And it's one of the ways that you can figure out how to keep your relationship going without it actually flatlining.
Yeah, and so I know what you guys are thinking. I already took the test. I know my love language. Well, we're here to tell you this.
No, you don't.
Exactly. You don't know it. See, and that's kind of why this show, as a 10-Minute Tuesday, is so difficult, because we want to tell you everything right now, but we have to wait to go into the entire explanation. But just keep in mind as you look forward to Thursday that what you may think your love language is nothing close. There's nothing close to it. Like what we're talking about is not something that you can simply fix with a gift or a hug.
There's nothing that you can really do or read in a book and just kind of fix it. It doesn't work that way. There's a connection that is there or it is not. And if you know how to bridge that connection and be able to talk to somebody in the correct way, then you build that connection and you're able to extend that out and keep it going without your relationship straight up just flatlining after a couple of years, couple months or whatever, however long it is, and ending up in that ambiguous relationship.
Right. And I will say the beauty of this is we give you techniques so that if you feel like my relationship is something I really want to hold on to, but we're struggling with finding each other's love languages, you can work on it. It's not okay, these aren't compatible, we're going to call it quits. It's we're going to try everything possible before we say, you know what, it's okay. We have to just let each other go.
I have done that in the past where I've let somebody go. It's not easy, but I'm one of those people that if you have to give up a huge part of yourself or the goal that you have in your life in order to remain in the relationship, I can't do that because I've seen the results of that. Somebody's going to end up unhappy later on. And then that could turn into resentment, or they're just left with this unrecognized desire that they've had, and they had their shot and they passed it up. It's just not worth it.
It's difficult. It's especially when you really do love the person. Like, you just love the shit out of them and you can't imagine life without them. But sometimes it's okay to say, you know what? We gave it our all. We're not compatible, and we're going to do everything we can to remain friends.
Yeah. And usually when I end it that way, we usually do end up being friends. It's better to have them in my life that way than to have them in my life and they're completely unhappy because they haven't realized their goals or they had to give up something.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but yeah, like you said, I'd rather have them in my life some way than no way. And I don't want to give up part of myself, and I don't want them giving up part of themselves. I think once people hear the show, they'll start to understand that your love language is something that anyone who wants to keep you in their life can speak, but they have to choose you. Like we always say, they have to desire you in order to understand it.
So if you want to know what your love language is and be able to communicate that in a way that makes sense to the other person, and then be able to also decipher their love language, Thursday show is the one that you want to listen to. There's no magic pixie dust. There's no hocus pocus. There's no bippity boppity boo. It takes work.
And work is what we do best.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Trust me.
It's awesome. Well, as always, guys, don't forget to like, rate, share, subscribe. Tell everyone you know. Tell your mother. Tell your friend. Tell them we are doctor recommended, technically. And make sure to leave some comments. Make sure... It's really funny. 1 out of 1 doctors John has met recommends the Girls Ask Guys show. Yeah. The other 4 doctors are still debating. We haven't met him yet. That's awesome. But no, really, make sure you tell everybody. Leave comments if you have show ideas. Let us know. I mean, everything you ask about, we make sure to try and answer. So anything you're confused about, even if it's the smallest thing, and we can make it a 10-minute Tuesday, we definitely will. But keep engaging with us. Keep checking back for updates on our course and our website. And happy dating.
Yeah, happy dating, happy life. And yeah, enjoy this universe that we put together for you.
we made.
I think we're on universe 1000.22.
So far, you guys are the best.
Yeah, there's an update coming. Patch fix.
Buy crypto. You won't miss out.
Oh my gosh. And with that, we will talk to you on the next one.
That's all for this episode of the Girls Ask Guys show, where all of us learn to master this thing called life together. For more answers to your questions on life and love, be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss a single episode. And head to girlsaskguyshow.com to submit your questions for a future episode or apply to be a guest on the show. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time, right here on the Girls Ask Guys show.